all you beautiful book babes. We will be continuing our Smut Lover convention books. Today we will be discussing Courting the Consequences by M.E. Thornwood. We have our main female, Kara, and all she knows how to do is fight to survive. She kept fighting into her perfect life and her perfect job. She is a managing partner at a prestigious law firm, but one day the Ravager Knights MC comes in and she has some big decisions to make. Fight for her job or fight for the three rough and tumble bikers. Stay tuned to find out more. Hello, all you beautiful book babes. Today, we will be doing a book that Nicole read. So, my name is Lexi Haynes. I am a published author, and
I am Nicole. I'm Lexi's editor.
And this is our podcast where we review smut books. We talk everything smut. Nicole is going to take the reins today. This is our convention book, our second one. This is episode 8. If you want to go ahead.
Yeah, so I did this one different. I focused more on the smut than I did on the plot because this was a good mix of both. Like, the smut to plot ratio was real good.
Ooh.
So, I focused more on the smut in this one.
Yeah.
But I have a question before we get started. I want to ask you, and the listeners, feel free to comment. Would you allow your husband or your significant other to add a third to your relationship?
That's a hard. I don't think so. I couldn't. I get too jealous. I mean, shoot, I told you about the one girl that was flirting with Billy, and I was ready to cut her tires.
Right.
Like, I get why people like it and want to do it, but I could not do it.
Okay, so, I'm buying a house, and I was talking with Jesse, and we were, doing up our bills and everything, and after, adding everything up, I just looked over at him, I'm like, dude, you need a fucking girlfriend. And he was like, what? And I was like, we need help with the bills. Like, I don't care. She can sleep in between us. I was like, the only thing she can't do is be mommy to our daughter. She can be
why can't you get a boyfriend?
Jesse's too possessive of that shit. He wouldn't. But me, on the other hand, I'm like, dude, we could have some fun, roll around in the sheets, but...
Well, there's a sugarbaby.com website that Jesse can register. I registered once before I met Billy.
But it's still...
But the guys were just way into some freaky stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this.
But so, I was telling my mother-in-law this, and she was like, he would never. And I'm like, I wouldn't mind. She can move in with us. We could play house.
Hey, if you're too tired.
Yes. That's one of the things. If I'm too tired to handle him, here's girlfriend. Let her suck your dick.
Oh, no, I can't.
No, I don't think I could actually do it, but I don't know, reading this, because this is a reverse harem, I was thinking, could you?
That's okay. Billy keeps asking me because I read reverse harems and I wrote a reverse harem. He goes, do you want another guy? And I'm like, I barely have energy for you.
Right? People who cheat. I don't understand how people could cheat.
Oh my god, it takes so much energy and lying and planning. I don't have time for that.
Exactly. You're dealing with one girl who you have to give all this attention to, and then you're going to go and cheat on that girl with another girl who you also need to give attention to and buy things for. It's just so much.
It gets so much. I'm like, how? I'm so tired.
Where do you find the time?
Exactly.
Where do you have the time for this shit? Please tell me.
Yeah, I read one book that it did have some cheating in it, but it didn't cross that line.
Right.
I think I told you about it. It was cheating, but they didn't actually cheat.
Right.
They just kind of flirted, but then she found out the husband cheated.
Yeah.
And he had basically double lives. He had 2 offices, and he would fly to the other office and live with that girl for a couple weeks, then come back home and live with this girl. And I'm like, dude, how do you do that?
Right? That is too much. I would get something mixed up and call her by the wrong name.
Exactly.
What the hell?
Forget, who has, oh, your favorite color is purple, your favorite color is green, you like diamonds, you like emeralds. You have to remember all this shit.
It's too much.
Oh my god,
just way too much. But yeah, it was just something that I was thinking about. I was reading this and then the shit with the house, and I was like, what would allow me? What would it take for me to be like, okay, bring someone else in?
I just can't do it. I'd rather be poor.
I think a dead bedroom too. I was reading something.
I've had a girlfriend actually offer it to me. She goes, "Hey, you find my husband cute, right?" And I'm like, "He's cute, yeah." And she was like, "You want to be his girlfriend?" I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I've done something like that. Earlier, like in our middle 20s, I was best friends with this chick. For a while there, like I could tell Jesse kind of had a crush on her. And like her and him were really close too. They texted all the time. And like she would send him pictures of her in her underwear.
That I could understand if you're okay with that. Like if you're friends with the girl
Yeah.
and he's friends with the girl, it kind of makes sense to. And I think that's where my friend was coming from.
Yeah.
I'm friends with her husband and we talk separately and then I talk to her separately.
Exactly.
So she thought I would be the perfect addition to their family.
Exactly. And that's what I had said. I was like, dude, you got a crush on her. Obviously she's liking you, but she sends him half naked pics. Why don't you just fuck? Get it over with. Like,
you are so much more open than I write about openness and I read about openness, but I'm very
comfortable in my marriage. Like, he's not gonna leave me. Like, there's nothing that could come between us. So if we wanted to try the shit, I didn't mind. We were also friends with another couple. So like this married couple, I was friends with the girl, but then like once I met her husband, me and him actually clicked a lot better, and her and Jesse clicked a lot better. Like, I would go and hang out with him, and she would hang out with Jesse, but we never traded or anything like that. It was just one of those things where she wanted to fuck Jesse really bad, but Jesse refused. He was like, no. Like, I'm not going to fuck you. And she was like, what about the threesome? He's like, no. He's like, I don't want to touch another woman. He's like, I got my wife, I'm good. So even though I was like, I mean, let's try it, he was like, no.
No, Billy knows if he ever cheated, not only would I kill him, I would kill that girl.
Right.
I have no
problem.
That's how
Jesse is.
I have no problem hiding the body. I will kill a motherfucker because, like I said, this girl was flirting with him active, like in the comments, and even like someone was like, "Yo, you want to get that girl?" And I'm like, "No, I'm going to plan." And she goes, "What do you mean you're going to plan?" I'm like, "I'm going to wait till she keeps commenting." And when she takes it too far, that's when I'm going to
give her the rope to hang herself.
Yeah, giving the rope. But luckily, she has not yet. Like, even Billy just got a new truck. He's like, I don't even want to post it on Facebook. I'm like, why? He goes, if this girl, I'm going to cut this out. If this girl makes a comment on it, you're going to kill her.
Right. And Jesse doesn't realize whenever people are flirting with him, though. Like, we went to a party, and this girl was, like, all over him wanting to be his beer pong partner, and all this. And, like, by the end of the night, I'm like, dude, she wants her dick. And he was like, what? She's just being nice. I'm like, how did I realize this?
Billy did not know this girl was flirting with him, and literally asked him out while we were dating, but I couldn't. Like, when you're dating, it's almost like you can't say anything because you're not married. Now that I'm married to him, I don't play with that fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, girl, she goes after guys that already have relationships.
Right.
That's her MO. So I ain't letting her do that to me.
Right. You gotta protect your marriage.
Yeah.
But, alright, kind of off topic.
Yeah. ADD kicked in hard.
Yeah, Courting the Consequences by Andy Thornwood. So the important characters we got is Kara Carmichael. She's the female main character. We also have 3 main characters, and the way the 3 main characters were introduced were kind of weird. Because as I was reading, I was typing this up, because it's kind of a shorter book, but there's Jonathan Taylor. He's introduced first, and normally whenever we have a reverse harem, like, they're introduced together, like, they're friends, or, they're all introduced, like, whatever. So he's introduced first.
I don't know. That's like the book I'm doing next.
Yeah.
I texted you
about it. Yeah. So then, like, a little bit later, Kevin Adams, the other guy, is introduced. And then later, Derek Howson is introduced. And I'm like, by the time Derek was introduced, I'm like, what the fuck? Another third? Like, I didn't expect him. Because it was so deep into the story that I was like, where the fuck are you coming from?
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's 3 guys, 1 girl. The book is a little bit shorter. It's 240 page. It is told in third point of view, so we do see the guys and girls, but it's not like I like her, it's Taylor likes her, or whatever.
Third person kills me, because I had such a hard time picking my second book because I got so many third person books, and I got confused because it almost sounded like it was from their point of view, but it wasn't.
Exactly.
And it just, I was like, I almost did the military one, but the beginning was so confusing on who the main character was. I was like, I really can't. Like, I'm not a fan.
I get it. I totally do. And it's so harder for me to connect with the characters whenever it's like that.
Because you don't hear, like, you hear their thoughts, but you don't.
Exactly. It's like being told, like, oh, Kara likes this. It's like, but isn't this Kara's point of view?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Alright, but yeah. So Kara works or owns a law firm. Jonathan owns his own company, which is construction and mechanical. Kara's at work when she first meets Jonathan. They are going over some new designs for her office. So, like, she had hired this company to do some renovations.
Okay.
Kevin has been working as a contractor for Kara. Jumped into that. Sorry. So they're going over some designs for her office, and Kevin is an employee of Jonathan, and Kevin has actually been working as the contractor for Kara for 3 years. So he's part already got like this relationship with her. Although they flirt and talk, it's not really anything serious. But he's known Kara for 3 years. Jonathan, like I said, he's the owner. He's the boss, and he's coming in for a meeting. Some stuff happens whenever Jonathan shows up. Kara was firing an employee, and this guy like grabs her by the throat, and Jonathan like kind of goes to step in, but Kara hinders herself. She's a bad bitch and like fucks him off. But she needs a break. She's like, after the meeting, she's like, I just need to get away for a minute. And she runs into Kevin. Kevin has always wanted Kara, but never made a move. Like I said, they flirted 3 years together. There's no rules about them because he's a contractor, but it just never went after each other.
Yeah.
She got the job from her father,
Okay.
and she didn't want to give them the board a reason to fire her, and she thought going after Kevin would do that. That's why.
But she's attracted to him.
But she is attracted to him. Her father found out about what happened in the office, which is what made her need a break and take off. And as she's talking to her dad, she does run into Kevin. And she turns to him to seek comfort. So, like, she's in his arms, like, basically upset. And it's the first time she's ever actually done that. But while Kevin was holding her, Jonathan had walked in behind her and sees them together. It scares Kara off because, like, she hears Jonathan walk in behind them, and, like, she just takes off. Like, whoop.
Okay.
Runs away. Back in our office, things with Jonathan gets heated. Like, you gotta remember, Jonathan just walked in with his best friend, or they are best friends, but his employee / best friend holding the girl he's crushing on in his arms. So whenever Jonathan gets back to the office, he says some things to her, which makes her slap him.
Yes!
Yeah. And she just, like, smack. And he just grabs her and kisses the fuck out of her. I love that. But I've never been one for really hitting. Sometimes I read these and I'm like, that sounds fun. I want to try it.
I like smacking in the bedroom.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'd done it once with Jessie, but it wasn't like, it was just like a little love tap. It wasn't anything.
See, I like smacking on me.
Oh, on you?
Yeah, on me.
Well, you see, me and Jessie used to do role play stuff, and like, he sneak up from behind, grab me, and like tie me down, and then I'd fight him. So like, whenever I was fighting, I would hit him, or like he would. But it was love taps. It wasn't anything hard.
Yeah.
Kind of ruins it, I guess. So after the kiss, that's really as far as it gets. Like, she pushes him away, and
so how are they connected again? I'm sorry, maybe my ADD kicked in and I got distracted. So how are they connected?
Jonathan owns the company that Kara hired to basically maintain her company's profile, or not
her profile.
Her company's building, like, doing maintenance. But Jonathan is the owner, and he came in for a meeting to do upgrades to the office. Kevin in Taylor. Why Taylor?
This
Jonathan.
sounds really confusing as a book.
It is.
Okay.
Like, how they're all connected, it is kind of confusing.
Because that's why I'm, like, getting lost. I'm like, okay, how are all these guys and this girl connected? And it sounds like they all kind of work together, but contract for each other?
Yeah, and I haven't even introduced Derek yet, so.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so, like, Jonathan is the owner. He owns the company. Kevin works for him. But they were also, all three, Derek also works for Jonathan. So they work for Jonathan, but they're best friends. They live together, and they were in the army together, Marines, something like that.
Okay.
So they did serve together.
Okay, so they're friends.
They're friends.
Okay, so we got the girl.
Uh-huh.
We got, what are the guys' names? So we have
Jonathan, Derek, and Kevin.
Okay, Jonathan, Derek, Kevin, and then the girl's name?
Kara.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
When you add too many characters, like, when books get really detailed and add too many characters, my brain goes, like, fried. And the fact that this is really confusing on top of it, I'm like, okay, what are the names? What are our characters?
It did throw me off, like, how the characters were introduced. Like I said, by the time I got to Derek, I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, who is this? Where did he come from? How are they all? Because at this point, I didn't know how they were all connected.
Yeah.
Because I was like, how the fuck is this even connecting?
Yeah.
So it did take a minute for everything to click together. But they all are part of a biker gang as well. They, like I said, they were in the army together.
They're all in a biker gang? Hold on, I'm like... Wait. I was like, wait.
You just like, where the fuck is this going?
Where did that come from? You just added it in there so nonchalantly, and I was just like, wait, where did that come from?
Yeah. So they're in a biker gang together, by the way.
All the guys? So it's MC, too?
Yeah, it's MC.
So office romance / MC / reverse harem.
It's got everything. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you're into everything, it's hitting all the marks.
Oh, my god. So Johnny's dad. Oh, god.
Giggle butt looky over here.
Because you just reminded me it gets worse. There's another connection.
Oh, God.
I can't tell you yet, though.
Okay. Some of the connections. I probably, like, if I was reading it, I'd be so confused, and then, like, they'll keep adding stuff, and I'm like, where's this coming from? Yeah. And I'm like, where's this coming from? Wait, all the dots are connecting at once, and I don't like it. Yeah. There's too many connections now.
It was good, but the connections were like, what the fuck? Alright.
Oh my god.
So Johnny's dad is the biker gang's president, so Johnny is the vice pres.
Okay.
Now, after the hot kiss, like I said, she pushed him away, and really nothing happens aside from the introduction to Derek. So, like, after she pushes him away, I don't know if it's like a couple days later or whatever, but Kevin finds out about the kiss, and him and Johnny fight. Go into a fight pit, there's people, they actually fight. Johnny has mentioned to Kara about sharing her with Kevin whenever they kissed. Mm-hmm. And she was like, no, I can't. But now Derek is like, why can't we just share? Because, like, she's introduced to Derek. And Derek's
like your typical reverse harem, if the guy's never done it before, they're like, well, we all want her. We all don't want to sabotage each other, so let's work together.
Yeah, like, why can't we share her? And I was like, I mean, right? Why not? Woman's dream come true. Anyhow, Kara goes on a date with Kevin at her house. Like, he finally convinced her to give him a chance. And after a nice little finger bang in an old office.
I love that. After a nice little finger bang.
So that's how he convinced her. Like, she was gone. They meet up somewhere in the office, and, like, she pulls him aside, and, yeah, that's how he convinced her.
Hey.
There was some teasing shit, too. Like, I was ready for him to just pin her down and fuck her, but Kevin had some control, and he was like, you have to have dinner with me if you want to continue this.
Oh, I love when they do that.
Right?
I love when they quirk some out of a date. Like,
right?
You're going to go on a date with me, otherwise you don't get your orgasm.
Right? I loved it. I was like, yes, go Kevin. But when he shows up, he's in his cut. So, like, he's in his biker cut. She is not happy, but she lets him in anyway, and he fucks her on the kitchen counter. Like, I mean, Smut's right off the bat, like I'm telling you. And that was fun, but I felt like that scene was way too fast. So that one, like, he comes into her house, she's like, what the fuck's this cut? Like, you're in a gang, all this shit, and he just thrusts into her, nails clawing down his back, how fantastic she is, and over. And it was like, damn, that was way too quick.
That was way too quick.
I just want to say, though, like, in real life and in books, I love when the guys say stuff like, you taste amazing, or stuff like that.
I love when they do that.
I love it. It's
like
amazing.
Those little dirty details that you don't think add to the book, but they do.
It does.
Like, that was one of the things when I was writing my books. I'm like, I want her to taste amazing when they eat her. So I made the joke of how she's tart, because it is tart. So I'm like, oh, it's almost like a strawberry. It's tart but sweet.
Right, exactly. And so, like, I just love it. I love the dirty talk. But really, that's all he said. Then it was talking about them kissing, and they were done. Like, it lasted half a page. Not even, like, a full...
Aww.
Yeah. So while it started out good, the smut level for this scene was low. The scene wasn't super descriptive.
But it gets better.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was still a good scene for what little it was. It was still good. The author was a sneaky one and gave us a little bit more. Apparently him coming didn't make him go soft, so he fucked her a bit longer just to tell her what was going to happen after they have dinner. Like, after she comes for him again, he's sitting there dirty talking her. So, like, I thought it was over, like, and I was just like, man, that was a short scene, because it goes on to talk about other stuff. And then, like, right after they're talking, like, she realizes that he's still hard, and she's like, and he's like, I'm gonna take you to bed. Like, basically telling him what else he's gonna
the
do to
date
her.
is gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, I was like, oh shit, it's not over.
Sneaky Dickens.
Yeah. I was like, it's not over. So Kevin obviously is the first to have her, and when he brings up sharing her with Johnny and Derek, she gets turned on. So I'm thinking maybe it was the timing and setting which Johnny originally said it to her in the office. Because, like, whenever he first brought it up after the kiss, like, talking about sharing between him and Kevin, she was like, no, fuck no, whatever. So I'm thinking that's why she turned it down, because this time she's for it. She was like, no for now, but yes.
I love that. No for now, but yes.
Right? I'm skipping a lot of the plot and, like, a lot of the storyline, because, like,
I feel like I focus on the plot more and you focus more on the smut. It's kind of like that nice happy medium.
Yeah, so because, like, I don't want to go over everything. I want these people to read it who haven't read it. I don't want to give out too much, so I try to focus on little details instead of the bigger ones. Sometimes I do slip up and give up some spoilers, though.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah. But throughout the beginning of her and Kevin's relationship, Johnny is jealous, like, hardcore jealous about it. Anytime he sees her with Kevin, Johnny pushes Kara and makes her mad, grabs her and kisses her. Derek throughout just throws out little comments and banters with her, which is cute. It definitely shows her and Kevin have the better relationship, though. Like, her and Kevin are...
I feel like there's always one in the group.
Right.
Like, one has a really healthy relationship, one not so healthy, and one kind of, like...
in the middle.
He's that... It's almost like the mediator.
Right.
You have to have one mediator, you have to have one extreme and one of the other extreme.
Yep. And that's how it is. I mean, it makes sense because they've known each other for 3 years, her and Kevin, and Johnny and her only knew each other for a couple weeks, and Derek was only... She's known Derek for, like, maybe a week or maybe, like, not as long as the other two. Okay. So it makes sense she isn't really comfortable with sharing just yet, but we don't have to wait too long. Promise.
Okay.
Derek gets tired of waiting. They're out having dinner, discussing some company that her law firm is tied to, which is also tied to Donnie's dad. So she found this company, like, some shady shit going on with this company inside her company's records, and every time she tries to find out more about it, it disappears. But then Johnny brings up this company, and she's like, hey, I know about this company, but I know nothing on it. So they're sitting there at, like, a bar discussing, like, how to make a plan to get some information, and because what happened was his dad got arrested.
Okay.
And it wasn't him. Like, he had nothing to do with it. And that's where that company's coming in from. Because Johnny's like, where the fuck is this company come from? This isn't my dad's company. And Kara's like, I know this company. I've seen records of it.
So she's kind of investigating the company?
Yeah. She's trying. But her father, anytime she pulls information, her father or his friends, like, hide it. Like, if it's, like, say there's a record in their computer system and she clicks on it, like, within minutes, that record's completely deleted from their server. Yeah. So some shady shit's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes to pay for the bill, and like I said, Derek's tired of waiting. He hauls her ass to the bathroom and fucks her against the wall in the bathroom stall. That was fucking an amazing scene.
But I'm not a fan of bathroom sex. I'd rather car sex.
Like, bathroom sex is, like, dirty. I don't know, like...
I don't even like public I can't even, like, poop in a public bathroom.
Right.
Like, I can kind of pee, but I have to hover.
You're right. Do the hover. I do that, too.
But I always feel about backsplash, so I'm like, should I just sit on the seat or have it splash? Like, it's like...
Yes, sex near a toilet is just a no for me.
Yeah, like, especially in public area, like, someone else's ass was on that seat.
Yep. But yeah, that was a good scene. And when she gets back out to the table, it just continues. Like, Johnny, not being one to stay quiet, says something to her about having fun in the bathroom. And Kevin asks her if he's neglecting her, that she had to go fuck his friend in the bathroom.
Oh my... But I thought they were all on the same page.
Oh yeah, he's joking with her.
Oh,
like, he's just like, oh, am I neglecting you so much that you had to go fuck my friend in the bathroom? Yeah.
I love that, though.
Yeah, and boy, it was hot. But then Johnny, like I said, Johnny's jealous. So he starts fingering her right there at the table and makes her come in from the middle of the bar. Yes! I love that shit. I love public display. Have you ever done anything that public?
Like public?
Like public. Like, I've done shit in the car, but public?
I had a hoe phase.
I mean, everyone had a hoe phase.
Well, yeah, hoe phase for me was public.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. It was like I was very OCD about waiting for my virginity, so I really didn't get that experiment in high school. I got it like when I moved to the South before Billy. I started experimenting a little more because I don't know what it was, but sex always hurt. I'm like, what is happening? Is it me? I even brought it up to my doctor. I'm like, what is going on? Like, am I just not, like, am I too small? Is it the guys? But even the doctor was on my side. He was like, no, I think the guys don't know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So that's why I was trying to experiment because I was like, something's gotta give.
Yeah.
But then I figured out it was the guy because Billy, I have no problems.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't recall. My whole years, I was mostly partying and drunk. So
really?
I feel like I might have done something, but I really don't remember those years. I really don't. Oh.
You couldn't remember after you did it?
I mean, like, nowadays, I'm sure back then I did, but, like, nowadays I think back to it, I'm like, what? Like, I don't even remember half of the stuff I've done.
I've had some of those nights, but normally when I'm drunk, I'm not the most sexual person. So I know I never did sex on those nights.
I mean, I wasn't, like, throwing myself out there, but usually I had a boyfriend or something, and if I got in the mood,
oh my god,
I was
had
in the mood.
One ex-boyfriend. It was hysterical. So I planned this whole romantic evening. So both our birthdays were in April, and then my two friends' birthdays were in April. We did a whole party at like a fancy restaurant, and then we went downtown and had drinks. I got so smashed because I'm an idiot. I went to a fancy restaurant and I didn't get like substantial food. I had like a salad and a steak.
Oh jeez.
like an idiot. So I was romantic, and I actually got us a hotel downtown, so we didn't have to drive. Like no one had to do anything. I even got rooms for everybody. Like it was a nice romantic. Everyone brought their significant others. My drunk ass was in the hotel room. I thought I was gonna have sex. I even like did like the whole sexy like scene. I had like rose petals and condoms, and I was being cute. My ass was drunk, eating pastries and sweets and making a mess on the bed, and he's just taking care of me. And then when I get home, I had to go visit my mom the next day, and literally I was so worried about puking in front of him because it was still relatively new.
Right.
So it's like, oh my god, I can't puke. And he drives me to my mom's house, and I'm like, I can't puke. And literally, I'd run in the door, and my mom looks at me and was like, did you have a fun time? And I'm like, I literally told her, I'm like, 1 sec. Ran into the bathroom, threw up, came out, and I was like, okay, I feel better.
No.
She was like, wow. She goes, I know you had fun last night.
Right?
I was like, I was trying not to throw up in front of my boyfriend.
You see, like, I the reason why I can't recall is because, like, I used to walk around half naked all the time. Like, I didn't know this guy was this old whenever I dated him. Because whenever I was 17, he came into my work and he told me he was 25.
Oh, damn.
Come to find out, he was 35. But
I went through a whole military phase.
I did too. But this guy, like, he had owned his own house, everything. So I was always over there. Whenever I was over there, I'd walk around in, like, maybe a bra and a underwear. Mm-hmm. He would have his friends over, and I would walk out the room, and they'd be there, and I'm just like, hey guys, and I'd still be in my bra and underwear. So, like, I was comfortable in my body to walk around like that. And I know one time we went to one of his friend's house, and they were in a jacuzzi, and we all got into the jacuzzi naked. So I don't know, like, I feel like I may have done something public, but I really don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's funny.
But yeah. Okay. So yeah, public sex, fun. So they basically tell her to meet at the clubhouse so they could continue their discussion, and Kevin follows her to her house to pack some clothes just in case she stays the night. And as soon as he walks in, like, he just tosses her ass on the bed and slams into her. Bam.
Didn't even prime her or anything.
I mean, she was already. I mean, there was a little bit of not foreplay, but like a little bit of tension and heat,
and that kind of got her ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need some kind of like, I don't like when the guy just slides right in, because I'm like, that does not work.
I mean, it really depends. Like, if you don't get prepared, it could hurt, but...
That was my guy's problem.
Oh, yeah, I get it. But yeah, and like I said, the smut scenes, they're short, but they're good. So...
I like those.
Yeah. And after the bar scene, when she was with Kevin at her house, the dirty talk this man has is fucking good.
Oh.
Calling her a whore, and she's going to be filled up with all three of them, and like, yes! Like, it was the build up to them three, and I was like, fuck yes. They get to the club, and we get more smut. Like, there's just so much smut. They're out in the open at the clubhouse, and Kevin and Derek start playing with her in front of everyone. Like, just playing with her. Johnny is across the bar watching them, and he finally gives in, joins them.
So Johnny was not always on that same page.
No, like, I think he's always been jealous. Like,
oh, there's always one.
Yeah.
There's always one that's kind of, like, apprehensive about the idea.
Well, he wasn't apprehensive. He was jealous of what her and Kevin had. And, like, he would push her buttons to make her mad and fight with her and then he would kiss her and all that stuff. But he was just watching them.
That's sounding very Den of Vipers.
Kind of.
With Garrett and her.
Kind of. But yeah, Johnny at this point was just watching them have fun with her. Like, he was being a voyeur, basically. Mm-hmm. And I didn't mention this because I'm skipping a lot of plot here, but we got some good plot stuff going on, and there's more smut than plot right now at this time. I'm like 57-ish% in, but I promise, like, it's not all smut.
Oh, no,
so there is stuff going on, I'm just skipping over it.
We're just doing something different. We're playing around.
Yep. So far, everything has been mostly single scenes with her, with each guy. So, like, one with Johnny, one with Derek, whatever. There's some teasing of group play, which we do finally get, and the full group play is totally worth the 62% you have to wait to get to it.
I feel like a lot of reverse harems, it does wait till the very end for an actual group scene, because they kind of build up to it.
And I get that. Like, I get you gotta get the relationships and everything, but I want group scenes, my dude. Like, I want every whole field. Like, wow. I need it.
She's like, I need it. Ow!
Right? But Kara seems submissive and is naturally, like, submissive to them whenever they're being spicy. So, it works out, especially for Johnny. He eats that shit up. He loves being praised, too. So, like, Johnny has, like, this kind of power king.
I have a praise king. I don't even try to hide it. I'm like, you praise me, I'm ready.
I don't know. I think I'm more of the opposite. Like,
you like degradation.
I do. Like, I like that shit. Like, Jesse used to tell me, like, you're gonna fuck me like the whore you are. And I'm like, yes!
See, I don't mind that either, but, like, I feel like praising does more for me, because I'm like, oh, I did something good.
I kind of get that too, because I do, like, whenever they say, like, what's that saying? Shut up and take that dick like a good girl. If someone was to actually tell me that, I'd be like, fuck, yes, yes, sir. I call Jesse daddy. Like, and it's not a sexual...
I do that with me and Billy.
But it's not a sexual thing, like, I'm always
You literally
daddy.
cracked up the first time we went on a road trip, and Billy called me, and it said, Big Daddy. You were like, oh my god!
Because I have Jesse in my phone as daddy, too, and I was like, look! Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I could kind of see the praise thing. I don't know. I've never had anyone praise me.
Jesse needs to get on that.
Yeah.
Jesse needs to test that water.
No offense, but my husband's not, like, an alpha dude. So, like, he's not the type to take control. I have to force him to take control.
See, Billy's the opposite. He's all about... See, here's the thing. I have OCD, but not when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
I like my man to take. And luckily, Billy's the same way. Like, if I initiate, it doesn't really do it for him. He's like, I'm not into it.
I have to do all of it.
But if he initiates it, he is ready.
Yeah, and me and Jesse, like, we have that. We're not, like, sexually compatible. Because I like to be controlled and I like the guy to initiate. But Jesse doesn't do that. And it's like, so we're not...
See, I would experiment and try to take control.
But that's the thing. He does play, like, with fantasies and stuff. So he does give me some of the stuff. But he still isn't the one to take control unless I tell him to be like, hey, grab me by the throat and choke me. And he does it. It's like, no, dude, I need you to do this. Like, without me telling you.
Like,
yeah. Like, I'm telling you what to do, so next time we have sex, do it. I don't have to be like, whoa, dude, stop, grab me by the throat. I'm telling you already, so next time you know what to do. Yeah. And he doesn't! And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna kill you. But yeah, at least he tries.
Can you, like, tell him, like, it's almost dirty talk? Like...
Oh, he hates dirty... Well, he hates dirty talk for him. Like, he can't bring himself. Every once in a while, he'll say some good
See,
things.
that's me.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't.
awkward.
I can't dirty talk, but I like it.
Yeah, I'm awkward with it. Like, I am real awkward
I
with
tried
dirty
to
talk.
do it once and it did not work.
Exactly.
It's so awkward.
Like I said, he could come up and every once in a while say some things like call me a whore, stuff like that. But it's not enough. It's like one or two things.
It's kind of like me during sex. I close my eyes. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. I feel so awkward just staring at somebody.
You know, that is kind of weird.
Thank you.
That is weird.
Thank you.
You got someone hovering above you, just like, oh.
Like it's like I gotta close my eyes to focus.
Just do me doggy. Fucking put me over.
Oh my god. And even when I'm doggy, my face is in the freaking mattress, so it's like my eyes are closed.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I feel so awkward with the constant eye contact. Every once in a while, I'll open my eyes and I'm like, I feel so awkward. I'm just closing my eyes.
I get it. Yeah. Oh, jeez. So aside from Johnny's control kink and Kara's submissive and all that, there's also some mention about size kink, like smaller girl, bigger guy. Apparently these men are huge because she's 5'3" and they tower over her. It mentions a few times how big the guy's hands are compared to when they're on her body, like against her waist and stuff. I actually really like that. I don't know why.
I like it.
I like that.
I have had a couple books do that, but most of the books I read are plus size girls because I used to be a plus size girl, and I get that notion where if you get a plus size girl, it's because you like to be rougher and you need that extra meat to kind of.
That's true. Yeah.
That's kind of like Billy. He said he would never date a big girl, and then he dated me, and he goes, "Okay, I get it."
You can be a little bit rougher. Yeah, I get it.
He's like, I get it now.
Yeah. But they had to have some size play in there, and I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but Johnny's dad was arrested, and the company linked was the company Kara had seen in her company's financials. She goes to visit Johnny's dad in the jail and finds out some information.
Oh, she's finally finding out.
Yeah, so she goes to help and consult on the case to help Johnny's dad get out. She's not a criminal lawyer, but she figured she could help research because she's interested too to find out what's going on with this company.
Yeah.
And she finds out that her dad basically fucked and stole Johnny's dad's fiance back in the day. So there's like some tension between the two families. And yeah. Between the dads.
Is Johnny the awkward one though?
Johnny is the more control, like the one that likes the voyeur or whatever. The one that likes to make her mad.
Okay, so that kind of makes sense why he does that.
He didn't know about it though.
Oh, he didn't?
No,
okay.
she didn't even know about it.
Damn.
Yeah, so there's some drama coming soon. But guys were always with her. If not all of them, then one of them. And if one wasn't with her, or if they weren't with her, they would call and text her all the time. So he was always hearing from them, if not with them. After one amazing smut-filled weekend, they just completely drop off.
Okay.
Like, for, I think, a week or something. Like, she's heartbroken. So, somehow, her father had found out about everything she's been doing. The case that she's helping them with, he threatens her, tells her to end it with them, or he will put them all in jail. Yeah. So, and to also never bring up the case or that company again.
Damn.
Yeah. So, she finally hears from the guys, and they ask her to come over. She shows up, and they think she's mad. Because she hadn't heard from them. So, they think she's mad at them because they hadn't reached out to her. Johnny starts insulting her and calling her a whore and, like, all the shit, like, using her insecurities, because I didn't go into it, but, like, she explained to them her insecurities about some things, and he's using all that against her at this point.
What? Dick, I hate Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
I always
freaking hated him.
When it's reverse harems, I always like the cute little lovable one, because there's always, like, one cute lovable one angry one, and then, like, one mediator.
I love the angry one, because when they break for that girl's fucking amazing.
Oh, true. It is.
That point, because you got the jokey one that's always like, but they fall for her quicker. It's that one possessive one that's like, oh, fuck her, I don't need her, but then when they break, it's like, oh!
Well, it's kind of like, I think it's just, like, my character person, because Billy, anytime we watch something, Big Bang Theory, I fucking love Bert. Like, who loves Bert? Same with freaking, what is it? The Hobbit. Mm-hmm. The big, fat, like, awkward dwarf. I freaking adore him. That's just there for a girl, good time. Like, I freaking love those characters, so that's why I think I love those characters in reverse harems.
Yeah.
Like, the cute little lovable one that no one loves.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, so she had set ground rules in the beginning saying degradation during sex is fine, but anything outside of the bedroom is a no. Her seeming mad, he felt he had the right to call her that, was like, what the fuck? Like, I really did start to hate Johnny. Whenever he flipped out on her, at this point, like, I was like, dude, you're fucked up. He's putting her down, calling her all kinds of names, but even worse, the other two sit there and let him. They don't stop him. They don't say, dude, calm down. They're not like, let her talk.
I don't like that. Yeah, I'd be over this book already and stop.
Yeah, I kind of was pissed, especially because you know she's gonna take him back. You know she's gonna they're gonna come running back, and she's gonna be like, it happens in every book. Yeah. Anytime something big happens, they always get back together.
Oh yeah, so, like that does happen, so I know what's going to happen, but it still pisses me off to the point where I'll put a book down.
And that's what I think. Like, though I hate books like that because the guy comes, I'm so sorry, and she's like, oh, I love you, and it's like I hate those types of books. I like to see them fight for things. Yeah. So with him treating her this bad, I was like, she better not fucking take him back. They don't say anything to Johnny until after she leaves and breaking up with them. Real big men stand up for her after she's gone. Like, y'all are fucking pussies. Yeah.
They really are. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Me and this book would fight.
Oh, yeah.
I probably, if I had the physical copy, I probably would have thrown it across the room.
Yeah, exactly. So later on, she falls asleep crying, only to wake up to someone in her house. Whoever it is almost kills her.
Okay.
She's beat up, broken, and can't walk. House is on fire. And before he puts a bullet in her, she somehow is able to knock the gun away and ends up killing him. Like, the gun goes flying. She's able, while they're fighting, to grab it and kills him.
Okay.
Only for her to pass out.
Right.
So the house is on fire. She's beaten up, everything. Lo and behold, Johnny is mad because of everything that just went down. And he's driving around to clear his head. And he ends up near her house, sees the house on fire, and runs in and saves her. He drags her out and leaves her in the driveway and takes off.
Oh my god. Me and Johnny would fight.
Okay, so he pulled her out, but I still hate all three of them. And I don't want to go into book 2 because this does come to the ending, but I do want to say, from book 2, she's in the hospital by herself the whole time.
I fucking don't like this book.
The whole time.
I don't like this book. And it's nothing against the author. Some people might be really into this stuff.
Right.
I just can't read a book like that because I would literally be like, I'm not even fucking reading book 2.
Okay, but books like this is really good to me if, like I said, you know they're doing all this fucked up shit. If the girl gives in too easy and be like, oh my god, you're bad.
Yeah, that's
I hate that. No, that's whenever I quit.
Yeah.
I can't read books like that.
That's different. But this also, like, I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could.
Yeah. Emotionally, because you do get attached, and I did get attached. It does end after he drags her out. I didn't realize this was something that was going to be more than one book, but these guys really do need to make up for the shit they put her. And I'm hoping in book 2 they are.
Are you going to read book 2?
I did. I know what happens. Okay. But I'm not going to say anything.
Is there a third book?
Huh?
Is there a third book? Because the book I'm about to do is like a 4-part series.
No, it's only 2. It's only 2. But I don't know if I'd be able to finish if they don't, because I went from loving these guys to absolutely hating them. And I do feel like Derek wasn't as much as a prominent relationship. So, like, even though she did have a relationship with Derek, it felt more like it was her, Johnny, and Kevin. Like, I don't know. It wasn't so much as Derek in this. And I wanted more
I feel like
Derek.
There's always one guy in the reverse harem that's always a little lacking.
Yeah.
Like, there's only a couple books where I can say, okay, they did them all justice.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, there's...
Well, hello, all you beautiful book babes. I am sorry for the interruption, but I am pleased to tell you today we have our first sponsor. So this episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby is an energy drink with no sugar, but does not give you that jittery feeling or crash after you drink it. It has no fillers, artificial colors, dyes, sugar, or all the other BS. My personal favorite drink is the Beach and Peach for when I need that extra pick-me-up when editing our podcast all night. All you have to do is click the link in the description, or because I know links can be a little finicky, go to www.gubby.gg and in the coupon code field put SMUT, S-M-U-T, for 10% off your order. Thanks for listening.
Wasn't as much Derek, but the spice was 4 out of 5 because this was actually pretty smutty.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Like I said, there was more smut than plot, but it did have a good amount of plot. So like it wasn't exactly even, but they still had a good plot going on because the plot, in case you didn't catch it, the plot is her helping his dad get out of jail and like this mystery about the company. Yeah. That's how the plot line follows. Humor 1 out of 5, emotional 3 out of 5. But at the end, like that really,
it really ramps it up.
did really
I feel like
ramp
the
it up.
emotional should. I mean, I feel like it's a 4, and I haven't even read it.
Yeah. So the emotional at the end does get a little bit higher. The world building was 4 out of 5 because the connections confused the hell out of me. Like I said, there's a connection in book 2 that comes that we don't even see here. Has to do with her brother. So something else gets brought in.
There's just too many like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, there's too many connections where it's almost getting confusing.
The fathers,
the fucking
friends,
working, their friends, their military, their fucking MC, like.
And then her brother's connected, and it's just too much.
Yeah, it's just way too much.
But overall, I did give it a 5 because even though the connections kind of confused me in the beginning, it does make sense towards the more you read.
Yeah.
And I was so wrapped up in it.
It's one of those you have to read it till the end and read the series to have a full understanding. I've had books like that, and they're frustrating at first, but then you're like, okay, everything's worth it.
Exactly. So it did get really good, and the smut was, like I said, some of the scenes were short, but they were so fucking good.
What's your smut to plot ratio? Just
smut to plot, it was more smut than plot.
Okay.
Yeah. So, book 2, for those of you who want to know, is Reconciling the Consequences, and the actual name of the series is Ravager Knights MC book. Oh, I'm sorry, there is 3 books. Embracing the Consequences.
Oh my God.
That. So yeah, book 3 is Embracing the Consequences, but it is a good series, and like, whenever I finished this, I immediately jumped to book 2. I didn't even write anything down. I was just like, fuck, book 2.
Yeah. On to the next.
Yep. So that was it. It was actually really good.
All right. Well, that completes today's episode. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe to our podcast. We have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have Facebook. Basically, all you have to do is search Basic Book Babes Podcast, and you'll be able to find us. Our logo is everywhere on our stuff. I tried to make it as easy as possible to find. Because I feel like sometimes when I search for authors on social media, I'm like, wait, is this the author? Is it not?
You're right.
I'm so confused about who this person is, and I just want to find the author so I can follow them for new books.
Right, yep, I get it.
So I try to make it as basic as possible so that it also kind of goes with our aesthetic. But, yes, please subscribe to our podcast. Please download. We have so many episodes now. I feel like they're starting to... I see the list now slowly growing.
Right, and what is next week's book going to be?
Next week is the 40-Year-Old Virgin Witch. It's a long title, but I swear to God, it's actually a pretty good book. But again, it's plot. You know what? I'm a sucker for a good plot.
And I think my next book is mostly plot too, so then there's spice.
And I feel like that's a lot of the convention books, because I've read several. I've been, like, prepping for our convention to see what I want to get and what do I want to buy. And a lot of it's, like, plot, and then at 90% you get some smut.
And, I like smut, and it doesn't need to be all smut, but...
I wish there was a book of just smut.
Oh, there is plenty of books that smut. I've read them.
I haven't found them yet. But I'm being very particular.
Oh, I was like Amy Barnes.
I think I looked her up, but like I read one of hers, but it got so degrading that I was like really iffy. Like I had to stop.
Oh yeah, it's her stepdaddy series that I like, but I think she was removed from Amazon. So yeah.
Yeah, because like one of her books got like really intense to the point where I had to stop reading. Like I was like, I'm not into this. Like I'm all about degradation and like some things, but when it gets like outside the bedroom, I have a problem.
Me too. I can't do degradation outside the bedroom.
Yeah. But yeah, so next week we are going to do the 40-Year-Old Virgin, or Virgin Wit. We should be posting throughout the whole convention. So the convention will be from September 18th, but it doesn't really start till the 19th, all the way up to the 22nd. We'll post lives, videos, pictures, kind of everything about the convention. If you guys are at the convention, please find us. We would love to talk to people. I don't know about Nicole. No. I'm a talker.
That's what Jesse said whenever he found out. He was like, are you sure you can do this without her? Because you were coming a day late, and he's like, "Can you do this without her?"
Oh, I trust you. You're a big girl. But yeah, so we'll be at the convention, and we'll be talking to authors and hopefully finding more material. So please subscribe, and you beautiful book babes, have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.